What's up, everybody? This is your boy Craze, the king of content, and I'm releasing this unedited, raw bonus clip from the untold story of K Solo. Check it out. He says some real interesting things about Tupac, Death Row, and Epmd. Also, make sure you guys click that bell to get instant notifications, drop me a comment, and please share my links. So, tell me how you got on K Solo.
Well, I was like I said, I was in the gym every day, running 10 miles a day, running in Connecticut State Park. Had my eyes on the championship, turning pro. Got into a situation one night with some bikers. It wasn't a good situation. It was a violent night. Kind of decapitated 3 of them. Really hurt one really bad, and then I had to do jail time. And then when I did jail time, I wrote an album. And right in the album, I got out and met Epmd. Seen him again. I knew him back in the days. And when I met Epmd and I kicked it with him, he heard some of the rhymes, Spellbound and all that stuff, and then he wanted to do a deal, and we did a deal. And we did a deal with Sylvia Rome out of Atlantic, and it worked. It was not a situation that didn't work. It worked real good, and we were successful with it for 2 albums. Then I went with Dr.Dre, and Dre stuff started hitting the West Coast stuff. And there was gonna be an East Coast wing that I was gonna start out, but Suge Knight had tore the record label up at that time, and there was no place, so I went home. I told Tupac, Mike Tyson being my friend, we knew each other since the amateurs, and I told him, I said, I know Mike Tyson, I'm not even going to the fight with them. He goes and he don't come back. So, you know, a sad scenario, but I seen it coming, you know. So,
how did you and Parrish meet?
Me and Parrish, we met when we were little kids. His brother was like a mentor to me. James Smith, shout out to James Smith, real good guy, kept me safe, you know, kept me on the mic as a little kid. You know, I would open up for Bambaataa, I would, you know, go places with him, you know. It was like a mentor in the neighborhood. And Parrish being his little brother, you know, got a chance to hear me rhyme, you know. And it was a relationship sparked through the business, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we had success. But he really wasn't the producer I needed, I think. You know, like Eric was the main producer in Epmd. But me and P, we did okay with the album, but I think it would have been a lot different if we'd have just let Eric produce the album and let Parrish just do the business, you know?
My question to you, you named the album Tell the World My Name. Mm-hmm. That was your first album, correct?
Yeah.
Why that title?
Well, I guess in my eyes, it was something special, and we wanted them to associate this artist with that name. But the name was really a code name. It meant something, an acronym.
For?
Kevin, self-organization, love others. I always knew that.
You said that in your rhyme too.
Yeah, well, I always knew at the end of the day that this was a business deal. This wasn't like a friendship where we were gonna be like around each other all the time, you know what I'm saying? This was a business scenario. You know, I was from an area, you know, we were always, you know, independent to ourselves, you know? We come from the era, I grew up in the era, God bless the child that has his own, so we always had a dream to have our own. So I knew it was gonna not, you know, it was gonna be short-lived.
So you come out with this fantastic record, Your Mom's in My Business.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Shout out to LMA McClure and Renee. Yeah, well, they gave me the inspiration to write the records. People in my life, you know, I still look back on my life, and I sleep well at night knowing that the people that were in my life, you know, gave me a lot of learning experiences and how to move and how to do what I do, you know what I'm saying? LMA McClure was my high school girlfriend's mother, and she would ask every question she could ask. So I thought I would write a record, you know. She was, you know, she was nosy, but she was classy nosy. Yeah.
You kind of, would you consider that the first record where the kind of thing kind of took off for you?
Yeah, that was the record. Spellbound got an eye opener, people to see me. But
so Spellbound was first?
Spellbound was first. It got people to know me, and it was very different. It got people to say my name, but Mom's in My Business paid my bills.
So how did you come up with Spellbound? Like, what was the idea behind that?
My sisters, Ruth, Selena, and Therese, anytime I did something in the house, they would spell it and say, I'm telling mommy on KEVIN, and they would sing this song till I went crazy. So I would think, you know, as growing up, from 8 to 13, it was an idea. And like DOC told me, shout out to Tracy, he said everybody tried to write a spelling record, it just didn't have the patience to see it through. Now, not to take anything from Earl, but anybody can just spell a whole bunch of words. Spellbound, when you hear it put together,
Yeah, what was the difference between
the difference of me saying it and spelling it, I said it, then spelled it, and then kept going. B-A-C-K back, A-G-A-I-N, K-E-V-N-M-A-D-I-S-O-N, here we G-O. Peep the F-L-O-W, I spell it slow, so you can K-N-O-W. He didn't do it like that, to me. He spelled a couple of records, I heard a couple of records that was, but it wasn't like that. It didn't have that signature, to me anyway, and and I made it famous, and again, I'm the creator of it, and use it, do your thing, you know what I'm saying? But I created it, and I went down in history for creating it. You can't change that.
Cannot.
Nah, you can't change that.
So what was that feeling like coming out with these records and really making an impact on hip-hop?
Well,
Like at that time,
tell you the truth,
that you kinda
I
wanted
knew-
to be a star.
yeah, I knew we were on our way. I knew that, I knew we were on our way, and I knew that if we had other things in place, like I said, the protocol for street, to engage in the street if we had to, was very important to me, being who I am and where I'm from, and not being able to do it put me in a situation where I was confused and lost, because I didn't understand how to function outside of someone doing something to you and you can't do something back. I didn't understand that. I still don't get that, but whatever. Life goes on. And like I said, I sleep good at night. I don't have any regrets. And if I could do it all over again, I would change a couple of things, to be honest. But for the most part, it was a great learning experience for me, and it was a great adventure, and it was a great journey, you know what I'm saying?
Nice. So looking back at, there's this history book, right? It's a history book on hip hop. And when you open it, A through Z, and you get to K solo. So we open this book, and if you had the opportunity to leave a legacy in words, what would it say about K Solo?
Well, it would say a person that went against the odds, went against the grain, did what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it, didn't run from anything. Mean streak, wit, strategy, and a sweet hand game, and confidence, I would say, you know what I'm saying, for myself. It's just me, my signature sound, My thing was, don't get your ass kicked. And, and here's some information, learn about this. My thing mainly was to pick up my people. I wasn't in a situation where I would, but I didn't want to go head to head with my people. I didn't want, because I grew up in an era where the elders used to tell us, don't make them write about us. So I was into changing my ideology and how they saw us. That's why I like Dre so much. I like Dre not just because he had an ear and he made sure his people ate. He made sure his people got where they needed to go. And outside of him doing what he had to do with Easy and all that stuff, all his people are where they needed to be. And I hands down, I have to look at that and always go, Andre, you did it. So even if we never see each other again, that was done. And me seeing it was enough.
But your career didn't stop, so you were a dominant figure in the hit squad.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Of
What
course.
was that like being a part of the hit squad? Because you guys probably was the first known group of MCs that were all successful, that band together and did tours prior to Rough Riders and Bad Boys.
Well, I think the blueprint was laid, by us, but we seen Juice Crew come too before us. Shout out to Bismarck and them. But again, man, they were so young. I don't think they really knew, what they were doing either. They were freestyling as they were going. And that's very hard, to freestyle as you're learning. And I hope you land on your feet every time. It's not an easy scenario.
No, it's not. So your career didn't start with Hit Squad. After that, you had the opportunity and the privilege to go to the West Coast. Tell me a little bit about that. How did that happen?
The first thing I realized about the West Coast,
How did that even come about, though?
I called Dre, told him that shit wasn't working out over here, told him what I needed, and he obliged me. That's how my mother taught me our people should act with each other. And it worked with him. He was like, all right, come on, here's the money, let's go.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And then you left.
And I left.
Next thing you know, you was on.
I wasn't getting no, well, here's the thing. When I was in this situation with the Hit Squad, I would get blamed for mostly everything.
What do you mean?
Well, being I'm the oldest, and I'm the only one that was between Eric and Paris, when Epmd actually broke up, there was rumors that everybody was like, well, it's your fault, you split them up. How did I do that? It sounded like we're fucking now. What do you mean? How did I split them up? So, make a long story short, they were trying to, you know, you gotta put it on somebody. I'm not trying to be an scapegoat. I'm like, fuck everybody, you know, I'm going through my shit, fuck everybody, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I was close to both of them. But I couldn't reach Eric like I wanted to, because he had a very short attention span. Couldn't keep his mind, you know, like on too much for anything. And he never really took me serious anyway, because, you know, Jesus syndrome. If you're from my hood, Redman from Jersey too, he was getting all of the love. But I was training him. Like showing him little tricks. So he gets on the radio the other day and goes, I learned a lot of shit from Solo. That's my big brother. I learned a lot of shit. Being honest, just being told, we were very honest. I told Redman how to fight, you know, like, no, hit it, no, turn your foot now. Or, you know, little shit. And with the rap too. Not that I never wrote a rhyme for him, but, and if I'm a stealing rhyme guy, why wouldn't I steal from him?
That was the bonus clip. Make sure you watch the full version. There's a link in the description. Click on that and you can watch the untold story of K Solo. Very interesting cat. Peace. Thank you for watching. Make sure you drop me a comment, click the bell to be notified, and subscribe to the channel.